Well, hi guys, this is Rick. I hope everyone's having a great day, and this video is where we're going to be asking my mum some of the questions that you put to her over the last sort of 7 days. Just want to say a big thanks to everybody who's written. We've had loads and loads and loads of questions, and there's so many people have said really nice things about my mum, so I really appreciate that. And I'm not 100% sure how we're going to kind of play this, so we're just going to kind of sit here and chat, work our way through it, and I may edit the video into smaller videos with little, perhaps in the title, giving hints as to what we're talking about. I don't know yet, so we're just going to kind of run with this and then sort of see what happens. Okay, the first question is from Summers Covers, and they've written, "Hey Rick, love the videos, especially your latest one about the World War II questions. I have a couple of questions if that's okay. First of all, what's your mum's favourite piece of modern technology?"
Well, I appreciate electricity, and but I'm completely computer ignorant. Completely illiterate.
That's not true, because you can operate the computer in the doctor's surgery. I was impressed with that.
I dare say I could learn it if I was interested. I'm just not interested.
Well, that's fair enough. That's cool. So you'd say electricity is your favourite modern technology?
Well, I appreciate washing machines and things like that, but I could survive without them.
Okay. So, here, the second question was, does your mum feel she needs modern technology to survive now?
No.
No?
Oh, well, I've already answered that.
Yeah. So, so you'd be quite happy with if the electric went off tomorrow?
Well, I suppose so, yes.
I love that attitude. That's so cool. There would be so many people who wouldn't know what to do, just kind of run around panicking if the power suddenly stopped tomorrow. That's kind of, I love that attitude. It's brilliant. Okay, even though the events of your mum's childhood must have been horrible, does she see it as a great adventure? She's got notes.
No, I didn't have a horrible childhood. I had a wonderful childhood, even without electricity.
I mean, I think she's getting at the point of I think she's pointing at like growing up through the war.
Yes, well, I was still a child in the war. I was only 12 when it started.
Right. So does that? I mean, was it horrible? What? How?
No, well, my childhood was quite good, actually. We were allowed to go up to the park and up to the common and things like that, things that you can't let children do these days.
Because of all the paranoia about bad people.
It is paranoia, yes, but...
Got a funny one here from Gary in Germany. He said, "What did Rick want for his 5th birthday? Was it a camera?"
I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay. Moving on. During the Blitz, what did people do to entertain themselves?
Well, cinemas were open and there were dances and all sorts of things. You got a warning if the sirens went off.
But did you like stay in your venue if you were?
Oh, yes, you stayed more or less in your same venue.
What, even though they were bombing?
Well, yes, but it was up to you if you wanted to go to a shelter. They always warned you.
So it was like the sirens went off?
Yeah.
But did you, so like a lot of people just sort of stuck 2 fingers up at it and carried on doing what they were doing?
Well, I don't know, because as I say, I was just a child when the war started. I was evacuated, and it wasn't till after the war that I experienced rationing and stuff. Because up until then, my mum or my hostess had taken care of it.
So you were evacuated from, was it when war broke out? You were evacuated?
Well, I was in Brighton when war broke out, and
on holiday?
I was left there, yes, because the hostess where we were staying had got to take evacuees, so my mum left us, my brother and me.
So you stayed in Brighton
For 9 months.
For 9 months. Okay. While London was being bombed and everything.
Well, I suppose it had started. Yes, the Blitz.
Because I suppose communication wasn't like you get instant news now.
No, it wasn't.
I suppose. Where did you get your news? Was it just like newspapers and stuff?
Well, I suppose so. As I say, I was just a child. I wasn't that interested in news.
Fair enough, makes sense. Yeah, I can't think of me ever being interested in news when I was a kid. So
we certainly didn't have televisions, and radio was a bit slow.
So in a way it was a blessing because you didn't have all this visual stuff coming at you to worry about. You just kind of got on with your childhood.
That's right. Which
is kind of brilliant. I bet many people kind of long for that sort of, those sort of days now. But,
well, I was re-evacuated from Brighton. I went back to London actually for 3 months because they were frightened of invasion.
Of course, yeah. Brighton's right on the coast,
That's
on the
right.
French coast, on the border in France.
Yeah.
So, because at some point, didn't you went back to London?
I stayed there for 3 months, and it got more and more difficult to get to school because I had a bus ride.
Right.
And so my mum decided that I should join my own school in Banbury.
So all your school from London had moved out to Banbury.
That's right.
Oh, right. Okay. So and Banbury is like sort of Oxfordshire, whereas it's right in the middle of the country.
That's right.
Sort of out away from London and that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to another one of these questions. I think you smiled at this one. This is from Morgan, and he says, "What kind of alternative transports were there? Petrol must have been very expensive, if there was any."
Well, I don't know, but hardly anyone had a car in those days. Ordinary people just didn't have cars. Not like these days.
Well, I remember seeing some of the really old black and white photos of like the streets and that, and there were no cars. It was like there was roads, and you get the occasional.
That's why you could play in the streets.
Yeah. So transport was what, mainly bus and train, I guess.
Bus and train, tram.
Of course, you had trams in them days.
That's
as well.
right.
There must have been people that got married. Did you witness any weddings? And did you go on any feasts or parties regarding weddings and engagements and things like that?
Well, you were allowed extra rations for weddings, not a lot, and people used to contribute, for the cake.
What, money?
Perhaps they'd give you goods.
All right, okay.
To help out, and of course things were on coupons, clothes and everything. So everyone didn't buy new. But they sort of helped the bride out with goods.
So it was like a real community-based thing then, really.
Yes.
Yeah. So like things like a wedding dress or something. Then that's kind of improvised by, I don't know, net curtains or something. Or
well, yes, that had been known.
Okay, so we've got another question from Christine, and she's got several questions, mainly about simple day-to-day life living without electricity. So, first of all, where did you get food, since there was probably a scarcity during the wartime?
Well, I don't know. As I say, it wasn't until I was married in 1947, when the war had finished, that I came into contact with rationing. Right. Because up until then, my mother had taken care of everything.
And she'd just go to a shop?
Well, we didn't seem to. I didn't go hungry. Put it that way. So I've got a bit monotonous.
So you don't quite know where she got her food from in the.
No, I wasn't that interested. It just kept coming.
The food was on the table when you needed it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So how did cooking and baking take place with no electricity or gas?
We had gas.
Oh, you had gas.
Yes.
Okay.
We had a gas cooker and a range, a kitchen range.
A range. That's like an Aga type thing.
Yes, that's right.
So I presume that would have taken care of your heating as well, with the hot water tank in the back.
Yeah.
And that was all wood burning.
No, we didn't have a hot water tank.
So how did you heat water?
We by the kettle on either on the range, which was there all day, or on the gas cooker.
So there was no hot running water through the house?
No.
So
this was when I was a child.
So it's just cold water?
That's right.
Like through the house or just in the kitchen?
Just in the scullery.
Scullery?
Yes.
Scullery?
Scullery.
Scullery.
We called it the scullery.
That's like a kitchen?
Well, I suppose so. The kitchen was the living room. And then there was a sitting room, which was the parlour, which was only used on high days and holidays.
So that was the posh room?
Yes, that's right.
So what would a scullery look like then?
Well, it had the gas cooker in it and the copper for washing and the sink for washing up.
Copper for washing?
Yes.
What's that? These are aliens
it's
of
a
it.
sort of boiler, but it was built in.
So, and that like heated.
That's where you heated the water for washing.
Okay, and that was by gas.
No, that wasn't by gas. That was just by wooden stuff, I suppose.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So the scullery would have been what we would perceive as a sort of kitchen.
Very small, yes.
And so
you couldn't eat out there.
So where was food prepared? And you make your meals and stuff.
Well, on the kitchen table, which was
so you had a kitchen
off the scullery. Yes, we called it a kitchen, but it was like a living room, really. Living room come dining room.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to conjure this image in my mind. I'm all quite confused now.
I am too, because I never talk about the old things.
Yeah. I suppose you got to work hard to recall some of those memories.
That's right.
I imagine.
Yes. I'm rather a funny person.
Yeah.
When something's finished in my life, it's finished. I don't go back to it.
You don't dwell on the past.
No.
That's a good attitude. Okay. More questions from Christine. How did you heat the house or keep everyone warm when there were no electric heaters?
Well, we had a kitchen range.
So it was the range
which
again.
was a bit like the modern Aga, but different in a way, not so modern.
And that just like radiated heat in one room, and that kind of.
And use coal on that.
Right, and that would radiate through the house, sort of.
Well.
By opening the doors, I guess.
Maybe not upstairs, but.
So
it was quite cosy in the kitchen.
So what about in the winter, in the dead of night? Was that pretty cold?
No, colder than it is now, really.
Really? Okay, and that again, that the main heat source would have been the range in the scullery,
range.
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Okay, so lighting we've already covered, which used gas lamps, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, and I presume those are just like plumbed into the wall.
You had mantles on top of the jets, which gave a very bright light.
Right, and that's like a little cotton.
Yes,
thing,
it's very
gauze.
delicate, very delicate.
Okay, and that's because that's all like
very
distributed
easy to
gas.
put your finger through, when you were putting it on.
Oh, finally. Okay.